It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Katafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you in studio with us today. Better Business Bureau's Marilyn Huffman is back with us. It is, I can't believe it, Thanksgiving is coming up in just a little bit. So we've got the Black Friday, the Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday?
Correct.
And
yes.
Giving Tuesday?
Yes.
All those things are coming up really fast. So yes. Marilyn always comes in and sits down with us and talks about just safe holiday shopping. This year, I think, is probably more important than ever because of the online interest and the fact that you can just order it and it comes to you, where typically I don't usually push that very much. And I don't want to push it too much this year either. I feel bad for our small businesses in our communities over this year. It's been horrible. And I actually heard something, Marilyn, a couple weeks back where I don't know where I heard it, but it was the media, and they were saying it was highly recommended that you shop online this year.
They're pushing it big time.
And I was like, but I guess we can order online from local businesses too, can we? We can, right?
I would say start there.
Start there and see?
100%.
Yeah?
100%. And depending on your comfort level and where you live, depends on your ability to get out and support Small Business Saturday. You absolutely can do that. I mean, it's your right to do that. But it's also your right to stay home. You know, I mean, so
sure.
Everyone's comfort level is going to be different. But absolutely, there are a lot of small businesses who have had to learn to just kind of adapt to what has gone on this year and change the way that they do business and the way that they communicate with their community. So I would say start online. You'd be surprised at how many small businesses have tapped into the wave of the future, or the 21st century, if you will. So I think that you would be able to safely shop online and still do a community store. What's nice about that also is you can contact them. So it's probably easier for you to call them and get someone that you know and or trust on the line, as opposed to going to a big box store. So definitely still support your local community.
Yeah, check the local businesses, most definitely. We always recommend that too. I know you do. That's what the Better Business Bureau is all about, is the small businesses and helping them out. So
100%.
I knew when you came in today, this would be a good time to talk about it. But yeah, small businesses. Do you know, have you had anything in terms of like Yavapai County small businesses? How many have actually shut down and are no longer in operation in the county because of COVID?
I don't know the exact number. I'm sure after this year there will be studies done and reports will come out. More things will come to light. Basically what we hear about are just local businesses. A lot of the chambers have reported things to us. And of course we work with all of the local chambers in northern Arizona. So hearing from them how it's affected the small businesses, where they're struggling, and you know where they're getting help maybe from landlords if they rent space. There is good things happening. So there are people out there who are understanding and fundraising, trying to give back to their community and trying to support these local businesses. So that's been very heartening to see over this year, because it has been a tough year and it's not over yet.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's obviously going to go into next year too. So, you know, plan ahead for that. But
absolutely.
Okay, so again, we're promoting. Check with your small businesses, your local folks that you see all the time and you buy stuff from. Check with them first. Give them a call. If you don't want to go out, give them a call and see if there is a way that maybe you could work something out. We'll say, well, I'm looking for this kind of product. I know you sell it. How can you get it to me without me actually coming to your store?
And if you have a cell phone, one thing I would suggest, ask them to take a picture of the product, you know, from different angles and send it to your cell phone. A lot of people text nowadays, and so they're able to do that. It's not the same, I get it as being in the store and as physically looking at a product.
Right. We like to go pick up and touch and take and say, this is it, I'm going to go buy it.
Kinesthetic,
Right.
exactly. But if you can't do that, they could at least maybe send that to you. And I know a ton of restaurants, shops, even bars out there are doing a lot of curbside service. So if you are able to, maybe that's something that you could do also to support the local businesses.
Okay. All right. And let's talk a little bit about payment when it comes to this. Okay. Then we'll talk about online shopping after we take our first break. But when I go shopping for the holidays this year, and if I'm going to go to small business, my local businesses, and do shopping with them, what is the best way that I should be shopping and paying for these things?
Well, some local businesses are still going to require cash payment. And that is a business's right to require that, especially if they don't trust in today's day and age. But for the shopper to have some type of recourse and to have protection, use your credit card. Not your debit card. That's different. Everyone tends to get that confused, or some people seem to get that confused. That's just the same as writing them a check. It's the same as dealing with cash. So if you are making a big purchase, use a credit card to protect yourself. It's the best way to get recourse if there's a problem with the product, if you don't receive the product that you have ordered. That's definitely the way to go. If you're at a store that you trust and if you're getting a product that you are assured of, then I think that it's fine for you to feel free to use that debit card to write a check, to pay with cash. But that's also one of the benefits of shopping local. You trust that local store owner.
Yeah. I mean, you can come back around again, right?
Correct.
It's one thing you've traveled to Phoenix to go shopping, but if you stay right here locally, you're going to have to go in that store probably again. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And you do still want to ask those important questions. What is the return policy?
What is the return policy? You say that every time you're here for this. Well, what is the return policy?
Exactly.
Does that have to be put out there in plain English for everybody to see, or is it not something that has to be out there, kind of a warning?
So in today's world, a lot of businesses put it on their website and or Facebook page if that's what they use for advertising. So you definitely want to check there, but ask the question. I know some people are afraid to ask those questions, but don't be afraid to ask those questions, because otherwise you could be sitting at home with a product that doesn't work or something that was damaged inside the box and neither the store owner nor you knew that at the time of purchase. So ask those questions, take matters into your own hands and protect yourself so that you can get your money back, so that you can know maybe it's an exchange policy, maybe it's not a return and refund policy. So you're able to take the product to the store and exchange it out for one that does work.
Okay.
So just find out what their policy is. A lot of businesses, especially small, will have something posted in their store, but some of them may not. So, ask the question. If you don't see something clearly posted at the physical store, if you're there shopping, then make sure you ask that question. And some of them will tell you it's on our website. But a lot of times we hear that after there's been a problem, after there's been a situation or an issue reported, and sometimes that's too late.
It kind of covers the business, though. The business end of it, that covers the business.
Exactly. And most businesses are going to be upfront with you, especially if it's a final sale. I know we have one particular business in Prescott that puts a lot of really neat items in their storefront window. Well, that's affected by the sun over time. So when they get ready to actually sell those products and move them off the shelf, they're sold as is, and they're no refunds, no exchanges. You understand, if you buy that pair of slippers and the front corner was exposed to sun,
right,
for an entire year.
It's gray and not black anymore.
It's slightly lighter than the other slipper.
Right.
That, that's just an example of that kind of thing. But a lot of times when they're trying to push product that is older, or they just need to move it off their shelves so that they can have room for new product to come in, they will discount that product. And that's something that is very, very rarely are you able to return that and get a refund or return that in exchange. So just make sure you ask those questions. Be aware of the policies.
All right, let's take our first break. Okay, we've covered the small businesses and some safety tips there. But Better Business Bureau's Marilyn Huffman is in studio today. Their website is bbb.org. Countywide will be back in just a couple minutes.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9. Late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Welcome back to Countywide. We're sitting down with Better Business Bureau's Marilyn Huffman today. BBB.org is the website for you. So, so online shopping. A lot of people do that. I've told you in years past, my wife likes to do that because you can just sit there and look at it. It comes, and then if she doesn't like it, she just sends it right back again. But talk about some tips about the online shopping. And because I know there's a lot of gimmick websites out there, too. They've gotten 100%. Very clever, especially it seems like this year they've gotten really clever.
Absolutely. We search for a website in Google, you don't know the actual website or the actual URL to take you to the store that you want to go to. So you type it in the search and then it auto-populates a list, of course. Well, you have to make sure when you're looking at that list, are you actually going to the site? Probably the best example you can be given is when you go in and you type in Ramada Inn, and you're going to San Diego, California, for example. And so you type that in, and what's going to come up first are going to be all of those travel sites. So reservations.com, booking.com, travelocity.com, like those are the ones that are going to auto-populate first because they pay to auto-populate first. They want you to go through them to reserve that room. But if you actually want to go to the business, to their legitimate site, and actually get their reservation people on the phone, then you really have to check that URL that you're clicking on to make sure you're getting to the right people. Okay. So that's just an example. It's the same with stores, but it does happen a lot when you're doing travel reservations where you get popped to a different or third-party site. So you just definitely want to be aware of that. Online shopping, most of us are pretty seasoned in the online shopping world now, especially after this year. I would say it is still important for you to research before you buy. One of the statistics that came back to us is out of all the people who did not research, 57% admitted that they didn't research a website before they purchased something from those people. And we know that there's been some shortages this year, so a lot of times you find yourself on Amazon, and instead of actually buying from a particular company, there's this third-party company over here that is making money online. And so they're a third party. Are they trustworthy? Are they not? So 81% of those people who did not research lost money. That's a pretty high statistic. So researching where you're buying is still important. Look for the little S when you're looking at a URL. There's the HTTPS. If it's S, then it's secure. If there's that little lock symbol, it looks like a little padlock, then that's probably secure enough for you to be able to put your payment information onto that site to purchase.
These are all things that we should be looking for when we go. Okay, we're looking for the little padlock. HTTPS, not HTTP, but HTTPS.
Yes.
S is for security.
S equals
and the lock.
secure.
And the lock should be
Correct.
closed. Okay.
Correct.
All
and
right.
that means that you're on a legitimate site. Those people have paid to be recognized as a legitimate site, which means that they have been vetted by the company that they purchased the domain name from.
Okay.
So whenever you go to a big box store or a big company like Amazon, you're going to see that type of notification up there. You're going to see the lock. You're going to see it. It will say secure site. And a lot of computers, most people pay for some type of safety on their computer. So it may pop up that says, this is not a secure site. Do you want to continue? And then you have to accept the terms. Now websites are required to put that little, it's usually at the bottom, sometimes at the top, where it says this website uses cookies.
Right.
Not just a delicious dessert.
Yeah, no.
But they use the cookies to make your shopping experience better. They're aware of what maybe you're looking for or things
Keeps
that
track of what you're looking at.
Things
and then
that you've purchased in the
You might
past.
like this too.
Correct.
People
exactly.
who search for this also search for this.
Correct.
Right.
And you usually are required to click the I accept button for that. If you're on a website that you trust, that's perfectly okay.
I'm not a big fan of cookies myself. Sometimes it's a little creepy how you could be talking about something. It happened with my wife and I just last Saturday. We were talking about something, and sure enough, up on the computer came something that related to exactly what I was talking about. Who's listening to me? I was wondering. Of course they're not, but it was kind of interesting to have that pop up like that.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
I do know that they are tracking everything you buy.
Sure.
So, and that's a marketing thing. That's been happening for years. And it's very smart. It's intelligent because you want to give your customers a happy experience and an easy experience. Easy for most people equals happy.
Yeah, and what else is nice too is my wife loves it too, is that there's reviews. People have
Absolutely.
reviewed the products, and so she can look in there and see whether or not, what are
Yeah.
people saying about this? Some are
Absolutely.
good, some are bad. If there's too many bad, then it's like, well, this probably isn't for me.
Yep. And our
There, so-
BBB website, we are linked to Google reviews. So it's quite easy for you to check out a business on our website first, and then to also find out what kind of reviews, what are people saying about them, because we're smart enough to know when you're reading a review that's just nonsensical, or clearly this person was a person that is never going to be pleased or happy, especially if it's like a book, like chapter 1 of their novel,
Yeah.
and the review is like crazy long. A lot of times, you might skim those, but most of the time we're looking for, are they getting between 4 and 5 stars, or maybe even 3.5 and 5? Are they responsive? So when not only are you looking at a review on Facebook or a review on Google or a review on Yelp, but has the business responded and said, hey, thanks a lot, or you know what, we're really sorry that you had this experience. Why don't you call this number and we'll help you out? Because then at least you know that they're responsive. So if there is an issue, they're going to take care of it.
Okay.
That's important.
Yeah, it is important.
Really important.
Let's take another break.
Sure.
Already, and then we'll have a few minutes left. So, Better Business Bureau's Marilyn Huffman in studio today. BBB.org is the website. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9. Late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Are you struggling to overcome an addiction, depression, insomnia, or a weight problem? Then it's time for you to meet with Dr. Elaine Kissel, award-winning, world-renowned hypnotherapist, author, and mind trainer. Now you can get her help from the privacy and comfort of your own home. Let Elaine Kissel create a personalized hypnotherapy plan to overcome your problem forever. Call 844-4KISSEL now for a discounted evaluation appointment. That's 844-4KISSEL.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left of the program with Better Business Bureau's Marilyn Huffman, BBB.org. A lot of good information on there. You should really visit it. If you've got a small business or you're just curious about business or scams, or I was surprised. The website has a ton of different things on it, your website.
Consumer education, business education.
Ryan had a question about PayPal and Venmo. What can you tell us about those two ways of paying for things?
Yes, so definitely make sure you're using a secure payment method. Digital wallet apps they're okay. There's nothing wrong with them. But exactly what you just said, PayPal, that's a name that most of us recognize. Venmo, that's a name that most of us recognize. I think Zelle is another one. But there are certain ones that your bank will recognize. You could even contact your bank or your credit union to find out what they will work with. And also, those companies that are recognizable, they have policies in place to protect you, the buyer, also. So you have a way of actually going to them and disputing something if there's an issue. But if you're using something that you've never heard of before or something that you're not sure of, I would exercise caution with that. Just as if someone is asking you to pay for something with a gift card, as we've talked about before, or an iTunes card, things like that. When you hear crazy stuff like that, don't do it. That's a red flag waving in your face.
Yeah,
big time.
gift cards are for gifts, they're not for bills.
Correct. Exactly.
All right. And the other thing we wanted to hit too before we run out of time, we've still got a couple minutes left, is delivery scams. This makes sense. We get something delivered to our house maybe every day, every other day, so it's always happening, but
yes,
delivery scams.
And with the expected online rush, if you will, this year, even more so than normal because of everything that's going on in our world, definitely avoiding delivery scams. You want to make sure that you watch out for texts, calls, or emails, specifically texts. We've had a lot. I personally had one from FedEx, quote unquote. They claimed to be FedEx, saying that I had missed a delivery. And I hadn't ordered anything that was going to be delivered via FedEx. Paying attention to when you order things online as to what type of mail they're going to use. So do they say that they're going to use UPS? Are they going to use FedEx? Are they going to use the Postal Service? So that will give you a little bit more of a heads up, or you'll be smarter because you'll be aware of what they're going to use to send you the package. But just really, before you click on any link, before you respond to that email, before you take that phone call and call that phone number back, please be aware that they could just be trying to fish for your information. They could be using this online shopping spree that we're going to have this holiday season and all of the packages that are being out there delivered kind of against you to get and to gather information. So just be aware of that and just exercise caution.
Personal information, that's what they want, though. They want your name, your social security number.
Exactly.
Your birth date.
Your phone number, your driver's license number.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, whatever they can get
card
from
number.
You just makes it a little bit easier for them to take advantage of you.
We have a minute left. Would you say it's pretty wise to be skeptical? I don't get phone calls anymore. My phone rarely rings. I mean, if it's a family member, then their name comes up. But for anything else, I don't know. My warranty on my truck has been nearly expired for almost 2 years now, but I still get that phone call almost daily. Don't hang up. This is not a scam. This is, and it's like, no. We all have to be just. I remember when just because the phone rings doesn't mean you have to answer it. Is what I guess I'm getting at.
Same way with your door. Just because someone knocks on the door doesn't mean you have to answer the door.
Right.
It is still your door to open, and it is still your phone to answer. Best way that you can get them to stop calling is to stop answering numbers that you don't recognize. And then once the call stops, you can go onto your phone and block the phone number. If you don't know how to do that, probably a family member or a friend would be able to help you with that.
They seem to just roll it to a different number.
You're right.
You know, they just roll it to a different number and then that one comes in. But that's all we got time for. But if you got questions about all this stuff, the best place to go is to bbb.org. Go through their website and take a look at it. So, Marilyn, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And helping us out with the show today. bbb.org again is the website. Thank you as always for watching and listening, and we will talk to you again next time.